Hey there YouTube, Hamster here, the TechRodent, and today I have for you a video review of the Alcatel OneTouch Idol X, obviously from Alcatel. So without further ado, let's talk about hardware specifications of the device. Up the front, we have a 5.0 inch display with 1920 by 1080 pixels, IPS LCD technology. We have a 2.1 megapixel front-facing camera. Up the right, we have a volume rocker and a kind of latch here, which is magnetic, that opens up and reveals a micro SIM slot. So that's SIM 2. There's actually text here which says SIM 2. Up the top, there is the power button together with the 3.5 inch millimeter headphone jack. Up the left, we have the other SIM, SIM 1. As you can tell, they're both magnetic. Down the bottom, we have the micro SD slot. Sorry, the micro USB slot, the secondary microphone, and finally up the back, we have the 13.1 megapixel camera together with the LED flash and the speaker grill. Now, overall, the finish on the phone is good. It feels really good. It's a really nice and solid phone. I really like the styling in particular. It has a really nice matte feel to it, and I really like this color scheme of red and black. As you can tell, it looks really beautiful. But you know, let's talk a little bit what we have inside. So it's powered by a quad-core MediaTek MT6589 processor clocked at 1.3 GHz, and this is a quad Cortex A7 processor. As for the GPU, we have the PowerVia SGX 544 single core, and we have 2 GB of RAM in here together with 16 GB of internal storage, and together with things like a Bluetooth 4.0, GPS, things like that. Let me just power this off and power it back on to show you what it's like powering it on for the first time, as well as how long it takes to power it on. So that's just shut off. Holding the power button. Alcatel OneTouch Idol X. Ugh, my throat. You get a bit of a boot animation and boot sound going there. Sorry that you can't really see it on the display, but it is a rather simple boot animation. And the boot sounds aren't too bad. So this is the phone fired up. As you can tell, the lock screen is slightly more different than the ones which we're commonly used to on Android devices. So this unlocks the phone, the SMS. We have camera on here, and that unlocks the device. Now let me just see if I can drop the brightness down. Alright. Okay, that's probably as low as it goes, which is still pretty damn bright. Let's see. Display. Yep. Alright, so the device, to be honest, isn't the smoothest device out there. I'm not sure if you can see it, but there is a little bit of jerk to it. It's not completely smooth, and this kind of bugs me a little bit, especially when you're dragging this down. I can't really stand that latency very well. Even switching to the panels here, you get a little bit of lag. Let's head over into settings and take a look at the device. So we have Android 4.2.2 installed here, together with a sort of Alcatel customization up top. As far as preloaded software goes, it comes bundled with, to be honest, a shitload of games. For starters, you have Asphalt 7 here. There is a bit of localization in terms of applications as well. For example, Deezer, which I'm not too sure what it is, but it's apparently a Malaysian app, and Durian, which is also a Malaysian app. Little Big City, another game. Kingdoms and Lords, another game. And World of Zoo, Uno and Friends, Even things like WhatsApp came pre-installed onto this device, as you can tell, and downloaded. These are the only 9 applications which I've downloaded and installed, and everything else comes preloaded. So it's not exactly the most empty device, but I'm pretty sure for anyone planning to get the phone, you can obviously uninstall this yourself. So I've already run benchmarks on this. I'm not going to run them on the fly as per usual, but let's take a look at it. Actually, let's take a look at device info first. And we have the MT6589 PowerVR SGX 544MP, the 1920 by 1080 display, 13.4 megapixel camera as it says here. Internal SD, we have RAM, memory, storage. Turns out this guy is running at 1.5 gigahertz, sorry, not 1.3. PowerVR SGX 544, and so on. So as you can tell, since I've ran this benchmark before, I've got a decent score of 15,503. So for those looking at the additional details, there you go. And I've also run 3D Mark on this before. As soon as it loads up. What in the world? There we go. So I've got a score of 2,853 for Ice Storm Unlimited. I got a score of 3,154 for Ice Storm and 1,745 for Ice Storm Extreme, which to be honest, these scores are relatively low for this, a device of this caliber. And for my final live test, I'm going to be running Epic Citadel, which is always my go-to benchmark device. No, benchmark test, more like it. Let's get the volume up there. Alright, so this is Epic Citadel reloaded, and let's run the benchmark. Now, frame rates, to be honest, aren't that great. I'm just going to talk a little bit about the phone right now. From my benchmarking and testing of it, I find that though the hardware can be quite capable and the overall device, the build quality is great, to be honest, I really like it. The software is where it sort of falls short in a lot of ways. The software is its Achilles heel. To be honest, Alcatel probably does not have as much expertise as other brands in making good software for their devices. I say this in comparison because I've been testing devices like Lenovo, and they, in comparison, even though they have similar hardware, in fact very much the same hardware, their devices run a lot smoother, and they can be lower spec as well, but they can run perfectly smooth. But looking at this benchmark right now, as you can tell that the frame rates aren't that high, and you get a little bit of stuttering going on here. So let's just wait for this to finish completely. Alright, so that's the benchmarks concluded, and I've got a FPS of 20.3 on average, which, to be honest, isn't particularly that great. Well, what else is there to discuss about this device? Overall connectivity on this device is not bad, I guess. GPS was alright. It took a while for it to lock on to a satellite. Even then, it didn't lock onto that many satellites, so I can't really say too much on that end. Mobile signal is great so far. Wi-Fi signal is great. The one thing which I really like on this though is the battery life, which from my tests, the phone actually managed to do 216 hours on pure idle, and I mean pure idle as in we don't turn on the phone at all. But as far as complete video playback goes, it only managed to last I think it was 6 to 8 hours. Let's take a look at the camera before we wrap this up. This is another semi disappointing thing for me, because the camera software is extremely basic and simple. You only have the ability to take photos here, swapping over to video recording. While you're in video recording, you're unable to take photos as well, so that just changes the focal point, and you only have the ability to stop or pause. So let's just stop that, and look at that. Changing flash mode just does that. Pressing on the video quality only has a really mild amount of choices. Let's switch back to camera, and you can tell it's almost the same thing. Even tapping on advanced, look at that. Just really basic and not much options to play with, to be honest. Photo quality does come out not too bad though, so I guess that's not too bad, but there are better cameras around the market, if that's what I'm trying to say. So I guess that's all for this review. If you like this review, please like, rate, leave your comments about the phone down below, ask me any questions, I'm alright with that. And thanks for watching. If you like to read the full review, please head to my website down the link below and in the links around the video. And thanks for watching.